So this looks really cool, displaying two texture and the RGB color with a varying RGB color. This looks really cool, but I want to flip one of the textures. Flipping first texture obviously it wouldn't be that noticeable. It would be somewhat noticeable since it's not symmetric. You can see this one has it this bump here, and this here it doesn't have it, neither up there neither over there. So it is still noticeable, but I would rather not, because it's mostly symmetric. Design is mostly symmetric and not noticeable. So I want to flip the second texture. So as we know, if we try to flip the texture, both of the texture will be flipped, but we can flip the texture when we load image. And right now I'm flipping both of them, right? So if I do that from there, then we can obviously flip it here. But if I remove this, then both of the texture will be flipped, because as you can see, we are flipping this one and this one. So if I used another one, then it will flip. This one will be upside down and this one will be upside down. So basically this one will be upside down and this one will be straight up if I use this line of code over here as well. So I don't want to use this because this is kind of easy. So there's another way of doing it, which is from here. So basically here for both the textures, texture 1 and texture 2, I'm getting this exact same texture coordinates, right? I'm passing the exact same texture coordinate in them. So what I want to do is make one of them negative, like I want to change the second one. So I want to make them look this way instead of this way. So what I'm gonna do is change this, change the x coordinate to negative. That should flip the second texture horizontally. Let's do that. Cut it, and the easy way to do it is just using this dot x and dot y, and here as you can see, we are just passing direct value in just another form. But here we can do one thing, that is 0 0.0 minus. So what we are doing here is just inverting whatever value x has. So if x has like 1, then we just subtracting it with 0, so to give us a value -1. So basically we're inverting whatever value we have in the x, and it should invert the image, which it doesn't, probably because I did something wrong. Let me check what I did wrong. So we have this vector coordinates.y 1.0 minus blah 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 and y, and yeah, I did fucked up. Now it should be fine. Let's see. So it should be inverted this way. And again, what's the problem? Unexpected syntax error. Undefined vec. Oh, I forgot to add the 2. Vec2. My bad. This is a vector 2 because texture is vec2 tech coordinate, x and y, and we have the syntax. Now there's no syntax error. Vec2 text xy, we have the comma dot dot comma minus 0 0.0. I don't think we have any texture errors. My bad, syntax error. We still have some syntax error. What the hell? What is going on? 19. What? Texture 1 We have the okay, well, okay, so now it should be fixed. We shouldn't have any syntax error now, and we don't have any. And as you can see, the first image is flipped, and the second image, the smiley face texture is flipped, and the first texture, the container, is still the same. So this is one way to do it. Or there's another, is that subtract it with 1. That should also give us the exact same result. Since current coordinate is just between 1 and 0, since it's 1 and 0, it should also give us like negative. Shouldn't give us negative, but it should also flip, because 1 subtract with 1 is 0, and 0 subtract with 1 is just negative 1, and 1 with 0 is just 1. So we have that inverted coordinate to work with. And one thing else that I want to do is 4 of them. So we just turn this 1 to 2. That way we can have 4 of the smiley face displayed. Just need to turn this 1 to 2 to make them bigger, and that's it. And as you can see, we have 4 of them. And it will still be the same even with 0.0, or it should be the same, and it is the same because it should be. I wanna try doing with 20. I wanna see how many I can fit inside it. I am using map, so it should be really small, but it should still be there. Here, as you can see, it's still there, and it looks cool. It's big, but it's still there. You can see it. We have it about 20 and 20, 20 and 20. Let me just make it 200 and see what happens. And now it's 200. It's gonna be really tiny. So if we didn't had a map generated, then we would have had a lot of problem dealing with this now, since these are really small and we cannot just generate that small right on the spot. So we have to use map function to do so. And as you can see, we are doing it, and this is awesome. I want to go for like 2000 and 20,000, even 200,000. I want to see what happens then. It's 2000 now. Oh boy, this is really small. I cannot see what it is. Now let's make it 20,000. This is 10 times denser, and it looks, I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. Let's go for 200,000. This one might be a bit difficult to render for my system. No, apparently not. Didn't even struggle a bit. And as you can see, I can make it really small. This is one of the advantage of map. This is the advantage of using a map function, that map function can generate images really small, like really small. It's literally 200,000 pixel away from us, and it it's that small. There's literally about 200,000 of the smiley faces, and the containers is being rendered in this line and in this line. I can make it go like 2 million as well. Let me see. 2 million, 2 million, 2 million, 2 million. I want to see how it looks. And it looks a bit broken, like we can see clear linings, but it's still being rendered. It's really far away, and things that far away is a bit difficult to render. And this is understand all that texture is start to break down, but it's actually not breaking down. It just looks like it's breaking down. It's actually not breaking down. This is really cool thing. Our GPU can render a lot, a lot of stuff in one go. I'm rendering 2 million of these things. 2 million by 2 million. That is a lot of millions. 2 million and 2 million. 4. Wow. I'm not gonna calculate that. I'm not smart enough to do that anyway. About 4 and 40 billions, I think. Anyway, let's turn it back to 2. Oh, and just have 4 of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is better. And I forgot, I was not really changing the coordinates for this one thing. But still we are still doing that, so it's okay. It's okay. We don't need to worry about it. Anyway, we can again do it for just one as well, like make the coordinate bigger by multiplied with 2 for just one. Like right now I'm doing both of them 4, so I can just make the smiley face 4 by multiplying with 2 in the fragment shader instead of doing it over here. So let's turn this one and do it from the fragment shader. This is inverted, and let's multiply with 2.0 and do the exact same thing over here as well. Multiply 2.0, and we should have only smiley faces doubled. And as you can see, we have only smiley faces doubled, and our container is the exact same thing. We can increase this number to, well, as many as big as we want, because we already used like 2 million over there in the main file, main function. So let's try to do that. Where is it? Multiply and multiply. Control Alt, multiply. Let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 9. We have 299. Let's see how big it is. Okay, we can no longer see it. It's way too big. This is way too big. Okay, so we have 99 here, and it's already really a lot. As you can see, there's a lot of these smiley faces. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not, but there's a lot of them, very tiny ones. And the reason why we didn't got with that big number, because number was really so big that it was getting out of bound, and we wasn't able to display to cover that. When we're specifying coordinate, we are literally just specifying 2 million, but when we are multiplying, we are just multiplying, and number is getting just that big. It's doubling when we are multiplying with 2, but when multiplied with 3 triples, but when multiply with 10, it gets 10 times bigger. So when we use like 2 million, it's just 2 million, but when we multiply with 2 million, it just gets bigger, because we are doing x and y as well. So honestly, it should be the same. We just, I think we just made it a bit too big. Let's try 2 million. It should be the same. This is 2 million by 2 million, and it should display, should be really small, but it should display. And as you can see, it's still displaying. um 200 million, 2000 million. I'm not sure it's gonna display or not. Okay, it doesn't look like it's displaying. Yeah, probably number got way too big. Yeah, number got too big for a float. I'm using float, and number is just getting too big for the float. I need to change it to double. Or no, we are still displaying it. All right. If you can see it over here, a bit of a pixel error. That's the, as you can see, a little bit of a sharpened pixels here and there. That is the second texture we are rendering. We can still see it. It's still rendering. It's just way too small. That is cool. Okay, so let's just turn back, and we do not wanna multiply anymore. We have x and y perfectly normal, and we have our normal smiley face and our normal this thing. So let's do the another cool stuff that we can control. We should, I want to basically control which texture to show by like arrow key up and down. With arrow key up, mix should increase, so basically it should get up to 1. So when it's 1, we're gonna see the smiley face, but when we press down key, it should get less to 0, and with 0 we should see the first this container texture. Let's see if we can do that or not. So we need to do that with somewhere over here. This is the vector, and this is the float 0.2. So this one is the one needs to be changed. Let's use another uniform float, and let's call it, this is float, and mix um, mix texture. Mix texture, I guess. We have it, this one as a mixed texture. That's what I'm gonna be calling it. And Let's assign the value to the mixed texture from this here. We're gonna be doing it from inside the loop since we want it to change every frame. We don't just want to change like once. We want to change every frame basically. And since we are doing it before we rendering it, we're gonna wanna do it before we bind the texture. Or we can do it after the texture, doesn't matter. Let's do it. GL uniform one, it's a float, and GL let us. So I added a uniform, an extra variable, a global variable to tweak and modify the value of mixed texture. I created a float uniform called mixed texture and passed the value over here. And to set the mixed texture uniform, here from the loop, I I just did this and assign it the mixed texture variable to the mixed texture. Name is the same. We don't need to worry about that. Here's the mixed texture variable. It's a float, and we don't need to make it a constant since this one is going to be changing. And this is the default value I'm giving it, 0.2. And what I'm doing here is I'm doing up and down arrow key. I'm using up and down arrow key, checking if up is pressed, then we're going to be incrementing with 0.1. If down is pressed, then we're going to decrementing it with 0.1. 0.1 is what I'm doing, as you can see. So it should like cover all that in just 10 clicks. By default it's going to be 0.2, and as you can see I'm not having anything else other than this. We just have two extra functions, and the reason why I'm doing it as a if not if else is because I wanna make sure to like have both of the condition checked at the same time, right? Like if I have else, then only this one will be checked and the else will not be checked. So that's why I want to have if, so I can press both up and down keys and do both at the same time. So let's see if it works. So currently it's 0.2, so decreasing it should make the first texture visual, the container. Let's see it does or not. It does, as you can see. Oh my god, this looks freaking creepy. This is weird. This is very creepy. It looks terrifying. Well, let's just implement it. Oh my god, that was creepy. So this is currently 0. As you can see, the first texture I'm displaying it, and this is going in the negative. Going in the negative turns the image into negative image, as you can see. So that's another a bit of a problem. And incrementing makes it well this, and turns the first texture into negative one. So that one kind of does this. Okay, so I want to restrict it so it doesn't go in the negative and becomes negative image, because negative it just scared the crap out of me right now. It looks terrifying, way too scary. So I want to restrict it so it doesn't go any lower than 0 and doesn't go any higher than 1. Do that. So what I'm doing here is checking to see if the variable has the whatever value variable has, whether it's greater than or equal to 1.0. If it's greater than 1.0 or equal to 1.0, then we just gonna set the value to be 1.0. And here I'm doing the exact same thing. But the problem, as you can see, is first we are incrementing, then we are checking. But what I'm gonna do right now is we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do it as a else, like this. So first we are checking if whatever value this thing has, whether it's greater than 1.0 or not. If it's greater than 1.0, then it's gonna be 1. Otherwise, if it's not greater than 1, meaning it's less than 1, then we're gonna will just increment it. So I'm doing the exact same thing over here as well. We're gonna moving this one else inside here. So it should restrict us from going too high or too low. It should be limited between 0 and 1. Let's see if it is or not. Let's go lower. As you can see, it just disappeared instantly because that's what we wanted. Now it's completely gone, and it's doing it way too fast. So I'm just gonna decrease the values from 0.1 to 0.01. So it should be a little bit slower. So this one is still somewhat fast, even though it's 0.1, it is still quite fast. Let's make a bit more slower. And this should be somewhat decently slow. As you can see, this is decently slow, and coming slowly, taking over here, and covered the first texture entirely. This is, I think, a little bit more slower than I originally intended it to be. So let's make it a bit faster. So I made it back to 0.1, and this is well fast, but not as fast and neither as slow. This is actually better. I can like stop in the midway as well, so this is better. Yeah, this is fine. So these are the few cool things I want to do, and let's just make this for all of them four. Actually, I want to make both of them four. This is the last thing I'll be doing. Thanks for sticking till the end of the video. And 4 4 4 4, and boom, boom, 4 smiley faces, red, green, blue, yellow. And we have 4 containers as well, red, green, blue, yellow. Looks cool, really cool. And we have this. Now thanks for the watching, and that's it. for this video. Thanks for the watching this video.